Okay, so I've just hit record. This will get emailed to you, and then this will also be a recording in our Instagram bios and available on the website. I might have to keep letting people in. Bear with me. Okay, so welcome to Unleash Your Higher Self. We're super excited to have you here this evening. Going to try and keep it as short and sweet as possible so you get the most information. And there's a reason why you came onto this call this evening. Maybe you're struggling with procrastination, maybe you're struggling with self-worth or self-sabotage. And we're going to show you why that is, but also what you can actually do moving forward to make changes there. So you know that you want more. Maybe you feel a bit stuck. You know that you are destined for more, but you're feeling like lost and confused. You don't know your direction. Maybe you're making excuses as to why you can't hit certain goals. And now this could be anything. So this could be your fitness goals. It could be your business goals. It could be anything. Even like as a parent, you've got certain goals that you want to do or certain things you want to do with your kids. And yet you find yourself constantly self-sabotaging or not following through with what you said. Maybe you're talking negatively about other people. So you see someone on social media or somebody you went to school with and they're having all this success and you can't help yourself but say, oh, I bet it's not hers, it's her husband's, or whatever it is, you find yourself saying these negative things. And this is simply just because we're a little bit jealous. And we find it easier to put somebody else down than to look at what's going on within us as to why we haven't hit our goals or why we're not going after our dreams. And maybe you just keep saying to yourself, maybe that's not for me. I'm not that kind of person. We don't come from a rich family. Whatever it might be, whatever excuse under the sun that you've used, I'm sure myself and Lacey have used it too. But deep down, you know you're destined for more. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this call. And deep down, you know that you're meant for more in this life. We only get to do this thing once, as far as we know. So we want to make it as amazing as possible. I'm going to pass over to my business partner, Lacey, and she's going to chat to you about why we're talking about this mindset stuff.
Yeah, I think we really wanted to get across that Emma and I are really qualified to speak on this topic because we've invested probably, I've definitely been in the last 10 years. Emma's been about 7 to 8 years. And we've spent over £70,000 on personal development, whether that's through coaches, online programs, group programs. I've been to the Amazon jungle and worked with shamans. Like we have gone all the way in when it comes to personal development. We've covered everything from breath work to tapping to hypnosis to subconscious, everywhere. We've been all around. And this is why we want to now bring all of this information we've learned. We've been able to envision our higher selves and then begin to embody them and to begin to create the reality that we desire. So we want to now share this with people completely for free. And yeah, we're going to show you how we do this.
Yeah, exactly that. There isn't really a course or anything that we haven't done. Every course by every online person you can think of within the mindset space, me and Lacey have done, from like Tony Robbins um to Danny Morel to literally everybody you can think of. So lots of information hopefully being pulled into this short video for you. And why do we talk about mindset? Like, why is it important? Now, don't get me wrong, I love strategy and I absolutely believe in strategy when it comes to your business, to your goals. As you guys know, I've been on a health journey. So, of course, I have followed a plan with my fitness. He has told me what I need to do, but there is a difference between someone telling you what to do and then you actually taking the action, right? We all know how to improve our lives. We know how to get into shape. We know we need to eat less and move more. I know that. I know it, right? But why is it I can't take the action? Why is it I'm still sat there at the cupboard at like 11:30 at night eating a packet of minstrels, even though my brain is screaming at me saying, what are you doing? And we do the same thing with money, right? We're like, don't spend, you're on the budget. What are you doing? Like you said, you were going to save for that holiday, for that house. And yet there we are on ASOS again, and we can't help it. There is like every part of your being can't help it. And this is because of the mind. It's literally because of what's going on up here. And there's this like loop that happens within our mind where we have a certain feeling, whether it's like shame or guilt or fear. That feeling then produces thoughts of, I'm not good enough. No one cares what I have to say. I'm never going to be successful. those thoughts become like so consistent that before you know it, it becomes a belief. And then, of course, when you have that belief, you're going to take a particular action based off what you believe. So if you're constantly saying, "Oh, I'm not good enough, no one cares what I have to say, I really don't think I'm very important," that then becomes a set belief within your brain of no one cares what I have to say. So then why would you show up on your social media and speak? You wouldn't. Your action naturally is going to be not to say anything, not to show up, not to try, not to get out your comfort zone because your belief system is that you're not good enough. So then your action produces your results, which is no results, or you're in more debt, or you keep putting on more weight, or you keep having less energy. So then your result is a reflection of everything. And you're like, ah, see, I told you. I told you life sucks. I told you no one cares. I told you that I can't have success. And it just creates this like pattern of the feeling of unhappiness again. Because now you're looking at your results going, I'm so upset with my life. It's so awful. I knew it was this bad. More thoughts, more beliefs, and then you get stuck. And you're like in this loop. And the only way to do something about it is to break the loop. Like we have to get in there and change the loop to better thoughts, better beliefs. And then before you know it, you're like, oh, wait, I can do this. Oh, people do care what I have to say. Oh, I am important. So then your actions show that. But then what happens? You start to get results. So the results start to reflect back to you of, oh, I can do this. Oh, people do care. Oh, people do come on the masterclass. People are interested in what I have to say. So then the results start to ignite this new feeling of, oh, I can do this. Oh, I do have abundance. And then you see a new pattern start to emerge, right? So simple and so effective. And the reason why this happens, I want to explain like from the ages of 0 to 7, some of this stuff you might already know, but this is the beauty of mindset, right? There isn't a secret. No one's hiding some secret in some course because if they are, me and Lacey would have found it.
Yeah.
Everybody is saying the same thing, and it's this. So from the ages of 0 to 7 is when you are being programmed. And it makes sense, right? Because you're learning and you're growing. So you're a baby or toddler or whatever. You go to touch something, your parent says, that's hot. Don't touch it. Okay, understood. I don't touch the oven, it's hot. Okay, that makes perfect sense. As a belief that I need to have. I need to know that forever. And that's really important for my survival. But then your parent or your guardian or somebody of importance within your life, could be your teacher, anyone of importance, will say to you, rich people are greedy. Or in my case, we have the fat gene. I don't even know what that is. I had to ask my PT and he was like, that doesn't exist, Emma. And I was like, oh, okay. So, but you can see how important this is, right? So from the ages of 0 to 7, you're taking that as fact because why wouldn't you? It is your caregiver's job to keep you alive because you can't do that for yourself yet. So if your caregiver or your parent, whoever, says to you, like, it's bad to have money, people like us don't have money, people from our background, from our skin color, we don't have money, we don't have success, you're going to take that as fact, just like fire is hot. Okay, rich people are greedy, understood. And that is like logged in your subconscious, which is the bottom half of the iceberg. And we don't have access to that on an every day-to-day basis. It's what we're going to teach you, but it's just like programming. You know, when you first learn to drive a car, hopefully you guys can drive a car, so you know what I mean. But when you learn a new skill, at the beginning, you're using the conscious part right at the top because you're thinking like, how do I change gear? I need to put my indicator, I need to look behind me, right? So you're really, really conscious of what's going on. But soon you'll be driving from A to B and you won't know how you got there. That's because that learning has gone from your conscious into your subconscious. So you don't have direct access to it. So now it's sitting in your subconscious and you don't even know it's happening. This is your programming. So you've been programmed for the ages of 0 to 7. You've been taught all these things about money, about weight, about self-worth, about relationships, about how to be treated in a relationship. That's been programmed into your brain. And now you're running off autopilot. You are running off auto programming. So this is why awareness is so important. This is why coming on this call is so important because you don't even know what programming you have right now if you haven't done any of this work. This is the beauty of this work. We're going to tap in and find out, well, what programming do you have? Are we happy with the programming? And can we change the programming? And then there's this really important thing that I want to explain, which is called the critical faculty. You can see it's that line there. So we have our conscious, which is like 5% of our mind. We have our critical faculty, which I'll talk about. Then our subconscious is 95% of our brain. So 95% of our life is created by our subconscious, and then we've got 5% running the show. So when we talk about willpower and trying to push through, and when somebody says to you, just eat less, just work harder, just hustle more, you're hustling with 5%. No wonder it feels so exhausting. No wonder you're burning out. No wonder you try and then you just find yourself back in this loop and you're like, why? Why am I still overeating? What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. It's because you only have 5% working for you. The other 95% is working against it. Okay. And the reason why, when somebody says to you, Emma, just eat less, man, it's just a calorie deficit. Like, why won't you understand me? It's because of your critical faculty. When somebody says something to you and they say it's calorie deficit, but I have programming underneath that is, I have a fat gene within me. That means the calorie deficit doesn't work for me. That is my programming. So it hits the critical faculty and it says to the programming, is this true? Is it true that we can just go into a calorie deficit? And my programming will say, no, it's not true. So it bounces back. So the information doesn't absorb within me. So great, you're watching people on social media and they're saying, you can make money online. You can have all these dreams come true. You can have your dream house, your dream car. It hits your critical faculty. It asks your programming based off what I know, based off how I was raised. Is it true that I, as a woman, I, as whoever, can I make this much money online? Can I make this much money doing something I love? Do I get to be rich and have my dream car? And if based off my programming, that's a no, doesn't matter, it bounces. Doesn't matter, I'm never going to believe it, right? So this part, I want you to really understand me here. This is the part that's going to be super important because we're going to teach you how to get past that critical faculty. And we're going to teach you how to put a new belief in there that's going to support the dreams and the goals that you have. Then a really quick reference. This is from Manifestation Babe, I just want to say, but I couldn't find like another reference and I didn't know how to make it. So this is from her course. But essentially what you're doing is you are the person in the movie theater and you are watching your reality and you don't like it. You don't like what's happening in your reality, whether it's money, your weight, your relationship, right? What people try to do is they try and just change what's in front of them. So they're like, okay, let me get a new job. Let me go on a new diet. Let me pay for a new course. Let me try and make more money with a side hustle. Now, these are all great things to do. However, all we're trying to do is change the thing in front. We haven't changed the programming. We haven't changed the film that's in the little, I mean, this is obviously an old school theatre one, but they haven't changed the film that's in there. You haven't changed the DVD or whatever. You haven't changed the channel. So you are still playing the old programming onto your reality. This is why you will go and get a new job and it still fucking sucks. You will go on another diet and you'll yo-yo and you'll go back up to the weight that you were because you haven't actually changed any of the programming. You haven't changed the film. You need to go in and change the film. And then I promise you, your reality will start to shift in front of you. No force, no hustle, because you are changing the programming. Okay, I'm going to pass on to Lacey. I hope that makes sense, but you can pop comments, I think, in the chat.
Hey everyone, love that, Emma. Thank you so much. So it's about identifying your beliefs. I want you to just think of a few areas that you know you need to work on. So something that I really love to do, every couple of weeks or months, I do this whenever I feel called. I put my life into 4 areas. So I put health, wealth and business, relationships, and my soul. And then I mark them out percentages of 100% of how well I'm doing in each area. So I'd really like you guys to do that and then just write down lists. Okay, so in my relationships, for instance, I know that I have a terrible relationship with my brother right now and my daughter's dad, the relationship isn't great. So there are areas that I know I need to work on. But what I also know is that them relationships are affecting, it's called quantum entanglements. Them relationships are affecting my relationship to food or my relationship to health or my relationship to money or the relationship to soul. This is one of them is going to affect the other three. So then I want you to think, like, what are you experiencing? And I'm going to give you my own personal experience. So I was experiencing not a great time with my daughter's dad. And I had to really look, okay, like, what is it within me that is coming up? And a lot of the time, guys, you don't even know what this is because it's programming. It's so you ingrained in who you are right now that you can't even see it. So a lot of the time, guys, sometimes I can see it straight away and I'm like, oh, it's because my dad left and it's because I don't trust men or it's because this guy did this thing to me. Like it could be that. But a lot of the time I have to generally just put my hand on my chest and be like, God, I don't know what this is, but please bring it to show me because I'm ready to let it go. Like bring me what I need to get through this. Because you are in a co-creation process. So a lot of you may be sitting there like, I have no idea what this is that's holding me back. I can feel it. And trust me, I can relate. I can relate. Emma can relate. I've sat there many of a times and I was earning like £25,000 a month. And I remember just being so unhappy. And I was like, I'm still so miserable. I went and got all the financial sides. I got all the external that Emma was talking about because my internal still had these crazy ass stories. I still couldn't be happy or healthy or thrive in relationships. So I really want you to understand that working on these as a whole is what's going to change your outdoor reality. So again, like feel into how do you feel about these areas and what comes up for you when you're thinking on these. And I just want you to understand as well, just to tap in a bit more, these programs do start from 0 to 7, but all generations. That's why people say when you heal 7 generations back, 7 generations forward, because your DNA is then creating the DNA going forward in your line. So imagine your cells are created of 35,000 people that can come before you. So it might not even be you that like this programming is coming from. It's from someone way back when that you don't even know. And it's some crazy ass shit that you're like, how did I even get this? And I want you to sit with it. So something that I've really learned to do lately, which I love, like healing now to me is just fun. I make it into a game. So I'm like, if I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, I better enjoy it. Because I'm not going to be sitting there crying for months like I was before. Like I'm so past that. So I sit with it and I'm like, okay, what if I don't know, what if like my daughter's dad, he keeps calling me crazy at the moment. I'm like, what if I am crazy? And I just sit there for 90 seconds. It takes 90 seconds to process an emotion. But what we tend to do is, I'm not crazy. He's crazy. He's doing this. He's doing that. Look at him. I've got this proof, that proof. I'm like constantly fighting it. What you resist persists. Okay. So I sit with it. I'm like, hey, what if I am crazy? Yeah, I am a little bit crazy. What does it feel like? I just sit with that. And I'm like, okay, let's dance with it. And I'm accepting that part of myself, that shadow part of myself that, yeah, you're right. I am pretty crazy. Cool. Now he can tell me as much as he likes. I'm like, I'm not even triggered. And it's changed the rewiring in my program because now it's allowing me to act differently. When you change the way that you believe something, you change the way you think about it. It changes your actions. Again, a huge one is money. Like money is really connected to love. So it's definitely connected to your mother and your father. And I've got a course actually that I'm going to create for our program that we're going to share with you. But your habits tend to come from your mum and dad always, or you'll be like a rebel because you just didn't want to be like both of them. So we just check in now. How do you feel when you think about your bank account? Is it a bit icky? Does it feel a bit gross? Again, sit with that and write down, like journal all these things. What is coming up for me? How was my parents spending money? How was my mum spending money? How was my dad spending money? How is that showing up in my actions now? And all it takes is what Emma said is awareness. Like I've learned so much in all these years. I'm like, damn, it just took being aware of the issue and then being open to the changes. Because I always call it shimmying. You want to shimmy into your timeline. This is called the higher self because you've got a higher version of you that's already operating in this now reality. You just have to shift into that reality. And this is what we want to teach you and guide you in how to do. So then how do we then rewire these? Emma absolutely loves tapping. I love meditations. I also really love breath work. Breath work is an incredible way. I do a lot of plant medicines. I absolutely love plant medicine journeys, but people that don't do plant medicines or don't want to and don't feel called, like that is totally okay. You shouldn't do anything you don't feel called to. But breath work, I would say, is probably the next best thing for that. It's definitely a place to get your body into a state where it can connect to something higher. and it allows all the ickiness that's really stuck at the bottom to be able to come to the light. Journaling's also a really good place. And I could not journal up until 2 years ago. Now I have about 4 journals, 5 journals from the past 2 years. I'm obsessed. Every single day you'll find me journaling. It's literally always next to me. It's right here. Journaling. And if you can't journal, like, I really love to help people now on how to do that. And just write down your first thought. Like, I remember writing and being like, I'm so fucking unhappy. Why am I unhappy? Sometimes I'll be like, I need a pee. Like, it's just random things that are coming into my head. And I'm just getting them out because I'm just getting comfortable with the idea of meeting who the fuck is this person that's sitting here. Like, I didn't know who Lacey was. I knew she'd achieved all this stuff and done all these amazing things, but she was still so miserable. Like, who is she and why is she so unhappy? And journaling is a really great way for you to be able to start to love yourself and learn this stuff. And guys, you could do this all for free. You don't have to spend 70 grand like me and Emma did. Like, we're going to save you all of them figures and teach you, like, just straight on how to get on and do it.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. So that's it really when it comes down to the mindset stuff. One thing that I will say is, oh, is that going to keep playing? Let me just pause that. One thing that I will say is that I know it sounds simple and you're like, oh, it can't be that easy. It's not easy. Right? Me and Lacey will tell you that, because you're going to have so much come up that you're not going to want to confront in this process. Like, we've told you what to do. And this is the thing, that we haven't held anything back. And this is what we both have paid a lot of money to work out, is how to do this part. But you have to now go away and do the tapping, do the journaling, like, ask yourself these tough questions, like, go inwards and find out what's going on with you. But that requires you to do that part of the work. And that's going to feel really, really uncomfortable. So
Guys,
yes,
it's so uncomfortable to tell yourself, like,
yeah,
oh, I don't know, I did this really horrible thing in school. It's like, one time I was really mean to this girl, and we were just like kids and being bitchy. And like, I didn't invite her somewhere, and I felt so crappy about it forever. And you have to go and sit with that version of you that you are ashamed of, or like things that I've said or done to other people. And you just have to go and sit with them parts of you. And that is so difficult to do. One of the hardest things to do in the world, and something I am so passionate about, is taking accountability, like 100% accountability for my shit. Everything in my life, I'm accountable for. Every desire. No one can do anything to me. I'm creating everything myself. I know this.
Yep.
This is my show in my reality, everyone I've employed in. And now I just have this mindset where I'm like, I don't like this cast anymore. You need to go, edit out, edit out, edit out. And it's really hard creating boundaries. I've lost friends, I've lost family, but I refuse to let my boundaries down now to be comfortable for someone treating me how I don't want to be treated. And these are the things we're saying. Like, it's hard to do this. Like, it's easy what we're saying to you, it sounds so freaking easy, but actually to go in and journal with yourself, to be real with yourself, to take accountability for your money, take accountability of why people are being horrible to you or whatever they're doing, and then having to work through that, that's really tough.
Agreed. And I think this is where you get to decide how it looks for you. Like, yes, it's difficult to take accountability, but also, like, how empowering to be like, actually, I create my reality. So yeah, it means I've created some pretty shitty things and that sucks. But also, you now get to take that power back and be like, wait, if I get to create my reality, what do I want to create? And that's what I just want everybody to know. And that's why I'm so passionate about this stuff, because people are out here hating their 9 to 5s, hating their jobs, in unhealthy relationships, in this unhealthy relationship with their own body, with food. And I just think there is another way, but you have to stop blaming outside circumstances and everybody else for what's going on. And just like they said, take accountability. But I think that's so empowering. Like, how amazing that we can do this. So just to wrap up, not going to keep you long, but if you want to keep working with Lacey and myself, we have created something called the Highest Self Club, which we are so excited about, so proud of. I'll press play now so you can see. It's basically a 7-step process in order to get your side hustle or your online business off the ground. We are partnered with Nu Skin, so I'm really sorry if you're already in Nu Skin on somebody else's team. I'm afraid you can't be in it. But it is a 7-step process to start your online business with a company called Nu Skin. I'm sure you guys have seen on our socials. There's no DMing, there's no cold messaging. We're going to teach you the strategy, which we do also love, but also a hell of a lot of mindset. It'll be a lot more like what you've experienced today. You can either just be an affiliate or you can opt to be a business partner, which is what me and Lacey do. And we're giving you all of these resources for free. So everything we have learned over the past 8 to 10 years, all the money we have spent with every single coach, every single course, everything, you're going to have access to all of that within an app on your phone, all through here, which you can see. So if you're interested, you want to make some more money, you want to make some life-changing money, come get inside the Higher Self Club. Reach out if you've got any questions, but it's all completely free. So why not? Hey?
You're nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for giving us your time this evening. I really appreciate it. And I will get the recording sent out ASAP.
Thank you.
Bye.